Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's Golden Win Geekout. I'm your host, Danny, and I got my cohort Ryan with me.
Hey, how's it going?
And let's talk about episode 18, Head to Venice. And man, what a way to open up this episode with some new content. It was not the new content we were hoping for, but it's good new content nonetheless.
True. Very true.
Okay, so if you guys remember from a bunch of episodes back, after the credit sequence, we got this bit where we saw Risotto Nero. He was at the train station and he was by a body, and he picked up a piece of paper and smiled. It was like 20 seconds long or something, and that was it. So this follows up on it, which thank you for actually, following through on it and not just being like, okay, here's a little shot of Nero, and then, we'll see him when it's time for him to actually fight. So apparently he's gotten a hold of this guy. I don't know who the fuck he is, just some guy. And he says, hey, I need you to restore this piece of paper. And he's literally threatening him with his stand ability, which you got a little glimpse of, which, for all you people that have read the manga, you guys are probably all flipping your shit, because I know Ryan and I were, but for you anime-only people, man, oh, you guys have no idea.
No, you really don't.
Okay. Yeah, he's restoring the photo that Pericolo burned.
So is this new content, or is this also in the manga?
This is. Oh shit!
Oh my god!
Oh shit!
What the fuck?
Remember how Metallica works? He turns the iron in your blood into actual iron.
Yeah, I remember that. Ow.
Oh! Oh god! Yeah, that's new content.
Oh, it is new content. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
That's new.
I was gonna say.
If you have been following the Golden Wind Geek Out since the beginning, I had said that there is one fight in part 5 that I'm really, really concerned about when it comes to censorship, and that is Risotto Nero's fight. You got a very small glimpse of it, and trust me, it's far more gruesome than what we saw here. So that's where it's like, just stick a pin in this. We'll be coming back to this way later on. And Ryan, you shut your face.
I'm sorry, that was actually really, really good. God damn it, Danny. Oh my god.
Alright, so anyway, we got some, Risotto Nero content, which is nice, but still not missed his backstory.
Oh man, it's like, here we were thinking that we were gonna get like the remainder of Mista's backstory in this episode. But no, nothing of the sort even came up, even after, not even like at the halfway point through the episode. We didn't get anything about that.
Yeah. There's not much to talk about as far as Malone goes, because, Malone, he was done in minutes. But it was like you said, they went through the majority of his fight in the last episode. So I think it must have been the first 5 minutes or something? That was pretty much it for Malone. So the bulk of this episode was Gaucho's fight. So there's not too much to really say about Malone's fight, other than, Snake Eater.
Yeah. Oh god. I'm still thinking about how it's like it's like Giorno uses a babyface's corpse to make a snake. He sneaks up on the guy, and then the next thing you know, bam! He bites the bastard right in the fucking tongue. I'm like, I don't remember seeing that in the anime.
Yeah.
I mean in the manga. I meant to say I don't remember seeing that in the manga.
Yeah, that is how he gets taken out in the manga. The snake bites his tongue, injects his venom in, and boom, he just drops dead.
Ugh.
Yeah. Very satisfying way for this guy to go out, considering, the freaking stand ability and how creepy he is. So then, okay, so in the manga, it was at this point was when we got Mista's backstory, and as we've said multiple times, we only got half of Mista's backstory, and we were hoping we would get the remainder of it at this episode, and alas, we did not. And we did say that, if it doesn't show up, we will go on ahead and explain it, at the risk of it showing up later on, because, I mean, hell, for all we know, David Production might throw it in next week, but at this point, I'm kind of doubting it. So let's just go on ahead and just explain the second half of Mista's backstory. And, if it does end up getting animated, then okay, we have a point of reference, to see how it gets adapted.
Right.
Okay, so according to the second half of Mista's backstory, so when Mista kills those 3 guys from, gang raping that woman, he does end up getting caught by the cops. And he ends up going to trial for it. Now, he's telling them the truth, saying, hey, yes, I took out these 3 guys, but it was in self-defense. He explains the situation. And, yeah, ultimately the trial does not work in his favor. It was like, pretty much like, I think it was like, no one could believe that this one guy would actually stand in the middle of a firefight, calmly reload the gun and then fire. And, there's no way that could have happened and him not get hit, because, like, yeah, we know that's the stand ability that he wasn't aware of. We know that was the Sex Pistols doing, but, the rest of the world doesn't know that. So they're like, yeah, this is already a far-fetched story. And I gotta double check this in the manga, but I believe the manga also stated that even though he has a witness, the woman that he rescued, she could not be tracked down. We don't know what happens to her afterwards. Like, did she just go into hiding? Was she silenced? Like, did they kill her? Was she bribed into silence? We don't know, but suffice it to say, there was nothing on Mista's side. So Mista ends up getting found guilty and is sentenced to, I believe it's 30 years in prison. And mind you, he's like, 16, 17 or something at this time? So, I mean, it's like, yeah, he'd be in his 40s, like pushing 50 by the time he'd get out. So, pretty much after that trial takes place, everybody just kind of is like, life moves on. But Bruno was keeping up with that trial the entire time. Like, we see, like, he's reading, like, the newspaper articles and stuff. He's actually, like, staying on top of this trial. Because when he's, like, looking into this, he's the only one that actually sees, okay, this was not deliberate. This was self-defense. So Bruno picks that up, and he pretty much realizes that, okay, Mista's just the kind of guy that he is not going to survive in prison. Like, he's going to end up picking a fight with the wrong guy, and he's going to end up getting killed maybe by some of the guards. He's going to get killed by a thug. He might end up killing somebody. So it's like, he ain't going to last long. The only way that Mista could possibly saved was if Passione used their money and resources to overturn the sentence, which they do, and in exchange, Mista undergoes Pulpo's trial, passes, gets Sex Pistols, and ultimately ends up joining up with Bruno. So that's how Mista gets recruited in. Again, I don't know why the anime only chose to tell the first half and neglected the second half, because the second half's kind of fucking important.
Yeah, it really does, actually. Although, because yeah, no, it's like, it makes no sense how it's just like, oh, okay, all right, we're just gonna leave it off at all right, Mista, offing those 3 guys, and we'll assume that the general anime only audience will get the idea that just by killing these 3 people, that poof, he's automatically a part of Bruno's gang. Which,
yeah,
it's like, yeah, it makes no sense.
All right, so there you go. That's the second half of Mista's backstory. I do hope that it will get animated, but if we haven't seen it yet, I don't really know if it will show up or not. It's like, hey, if it does show up, great. If not, there you go. We explained it for you.
but yeah, it's like, I can only imagine, like, even though it's like, oh man, even though you already pretty much like, told us like, the second half of Mrs. backstory, I'm still thinking like at one point, if not now, probably at a much later point, they will cover the rest of Mrs. backstory. Now it's like as much as I would love to see that animated for next week. I mean, all right, you and I were talking about this before we started recording this Golden Wind Geek Out, and we were thinking like, hence the name of the next episode, White Ice, or White Album in this case. Oh God, oops, did I jump ahead a little bit? I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
Considering the name of the next episode, we were thinking like, the next episode will be solely dedicated to the next fight that we've got a glimpse of, that we got a little bit of a leeway into, near the end of this episode or whatnot. So, considering that, I can only imagine they're going to be spending the majority of the time with this particular fight next episode. For me, it's highly unlikely that we'll see it next week. Maybe it'll be something that they'll save for maybe a couple weeks from now, maybe like after this next big fight. That seems
I don't know.
yeah, it's really hard to say, but to me, that seems like the most likely case, if anything.
Right. Oh well. But anyway, so back okay, so anyway, back to anime content here. So we see that after Malone gets killed, we do see, okay, this is what happens with Pericolo, and this is where we see that body that Risotto Nero was, that he picked up from, that was Pericolo's corpse. So now it's like, it was sad even in the manga, but it's still sad to even see it now that, that this is what ended up happening to Pericolo, because, like, Pericolo he's not a bad guy or anything. And I mean, it's like, I know that's weird because it's like, it's very easy to forget this is the mafia we're talking about here. Bruno and all them, these are gangsters. They're technically bad guys. But there's bad guys and then there's worse guys. And Pericolo was definitely not one of the worst guys.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's still like, oh, damn it, I can't believe that happened to a poor guy. So there you go. Yeah, at least got like, okay, that explains, like, the corpse and the piece of paper that Nero is trying to piece together. It's that photo that Pericolo burned of the lion statue right at I think it's Santa Lucia Station in Venice. That's where Giorno and Mister are going. But then immediately after that, God damn it, I want a voice actor. I want a fucking voice actor now!
Okay, alright, so basically, shortly after we got a Pericolo's message, we got a little glimpse, not too much, but a little glimpse
of the boss.
Of the boss. More so,
yeah,
the voice of the boss.
And I'm like, I want a fucking voice actor confirmation now. It's like, I know it's like, it's only a couple of lines and shit, but still, it's like, oh, god damn it, come on, I want to know who, I gotta look this up, I gotta see, do we have a confirmation yet on who this is? Fuck it, I'm gonna do that right now.
Yeah, so if we could get, like, any form of confirmation of the boss's voice actor at this point in time, that would be great. Because from what couple lines that we've received during that very little tidbit from this episode, I don't know if I don't know if this is how he's going to sound indefinitely, because I'm sure his voice performance, like, at this point in the part, he was just trying to sound, like, really quiet or whatever, and I'm sure he'll project his voice performance, when we get, like, further into Golden Wind or whatever. But even then,
yes.
I am still loving what they're doing with the boss's voice.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, again, he was being very quiet because, I mean, you have to remember the whole thing about the boss is he's trying to conceal his identity. He does not want anyone to find out who he is. I mean, that's like they even went so far as to even just so much as what you call it, you see, like, he's by a window, he closes the window and then he crouches underneath it. He's keeping himself completely covered. So it makes sense, why he would, keep his voice low.
Yeah.
And we do have a voice actor confirmation.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so the boss's voice actor, it's I hope to God I'm pronouncing his name right. Katsuyuki Konishi. Now, for me, this makes me laugh because apparently, according to Wikipedia, his debut role was Volfog from King of Braves Gao Gai Gar. And King of Braves Gao Gai Gar is like my favorite mecha anime of all time. It's so freaking bombastic and crazy. I love it.
Huh.
But sadly, I know most of you are not familiar with King of Braves Gao Gai Gar. But I do wager that most of you are familiar with Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann.
いいかシモン、忘れんな。お前を信じろ。俺が信じるお前でもない。お前が信じる俺でもない。お前が信じるお前を信じろ。兄貴？
It's Kamina!
I was going to say earlier, it's like, sadly, I've seen bits of Gurren Lagann. I have yet to see the actual anime itself.
Oh, God damn it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's on my to-watch list, all right?
Please watch it. It's good. But yeah,
okay.
but regardless, it's like, but yes, if you guys have seen Gurren Lagann, then yes, you have heard this voice. It is Kamina. So Kamina is the boss. So that's where it's like,
yeah.
That does make me happy.
That is something, like, that's gonna be some homework I'm gonna do. It's like, aside from watching, like, the Gurren Lagann anime or whatever, at the very least, I need to see a clip of this Gurren Lagann character, see how he sounds like, and that way I can get a better understanding on what this guy may or may not sound like, when he's voicing the boss.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess, quickly, brief little spoiler tag here, because right now, this only says it's the boss. Now, if you guys have read, you people who have read the manga, you guys know the deal about the boss. It's a split personality. You've got Vinegar Doppio, and then you've got Diavolo. So now, I think it's safe to say that this is the voice of Diavolo. But now I guess it kind of begs that question. Do you expect this voice actor to also be voicing Doppio? Or do you think they're going to get a separate voice actor to do Doppio?
That's actually a really good question. I mean, kind of hard to say, seeing as how, I can only imagine that's probably the only bit of the boss, we're ever gonna be hearing, until we get into, what was it, the risotto fight, later down the road. But I mean, it's like, considering like how they've gotten like so much great voice talent in this part thus far, I wouldn't be surprised if the voice actor that we just witnessed, voicing the boss during this episode, would probably take on both of those roles or whatever. But I mean, if anything, if they get like two separate voice actors in that case, yeah, I wouldn't object to that either.
Right. Because it's like, well, it's like I said, I do figure that, I think it's pretty obvious that, this would be Diavolo talking. Because if you remember, the whole thing with Doppio, like, when you look at, like, Doppio's personality, he's very, like, clumsy, a little, like, aloof, he's not, he's not the diabolical, scheming, conniving one. He's the guy that's like, he panics a lot. He's very shy. He's clumsy. And that's definitely not the voice performance we got out of that. So, yeah, that's gotta be Diavolo talking. But but still, that's where it's just something I'm just kind of curious about is, is he also going to voice Doppio, or are they going to get a different guy? I would like to think that they're going to use the same guy, but I'm actually going through his his what do you call it, his filmography, and it's like he's been in a lot of things, which is good. A lot of things I don't know. Like, honestly, like, I know Gurren Lagann, I see apparently he also voiced America and Canada from Hitalia, and that's probably, that's a good sign, if anything, just because, I mean, Ryan, surely you've seen Hitalia in Japanese. You remember how high-pitched and crazy America gets.
Wait.
So it's like...
Wait. Oh my god.
This is the same voice actor. So that's where it's like, okay, so we got the, he could, for all we know, he could be, delving a little bit into like, so we know from America, we know he can change his voice. He can go higher pitched. So that might be what they'll do with Doppio. He'll do a higher pitch for Doppio, and then when he shifts into Diavolo, that's when he goes into like, gets into the low, creepy voice. That might be where they're going with this.
Oh, man. You know what? I would be perfectly content with that in that case. It's like, god damn it. Now I'm just trying to imagine Doppio, like, having, like, the canon of Japanese voice in this case.
Right.
Oh, my god. That would actually be legit.
So let's move on now into the White Album fight. Now we do got a confirmation. So White Album's name, I pretty much called it. It's been translated as White Ice. So it's like, yay! I called another one.
It's like god damn it. Here I am trying to have the more creative name out there and thinking it was Blank CD. Oh, but no, you just had to change. You just had to take out the word album and replace it with ice. Oh, thank you, David Productions. God.
Well, I kind of figured, if anything, that would be the case, because not for nothing, White Album doesn't exactly really tell you anything about the stand's ability. And when you really look into La Squadra's stand names, they kind of give you a good glimpse. I mean, it's like, you look at, like, Little Feat. It shrinks you. Man in the Mirror pulls you into the mirror world. Grateful Dead, it ages you. Beach Boy, fishing. Okay, that's a little bit of a stretch, but I get it. Babyface. Yeah.
Nobody gets that one.
Yes, no, it's like, I mean, we get that one. But it's like, but then it's like you get into White Album. At what point, like, if you were to hear the name White Album, would the first thing you think of being, oh, this is a guy that, he controls ice to the point where it's like manifests into a suit?
No.
Yeah, so that's where I'm just not. Like, yeah, and it's like, and again, like, and yeah, when we get into Risotto Nero's stand, which again, I will not spoil here, but it's very, very, tied into what its ability does. So that's where it's like, that's where I was just kind of thinking, like, they gotta throw ice in there at some point, like, in the name, just to give you an idea, what the fuck is this stand supposed to be doing? Because, don't get me wrong, I do love the name White Album. But it's like, if you're going to be changing the stand names, I just felt like they had to have gotten ice in there at some point just to give you that little bit of a clue as to what the hell this stand is doing.
Right.
So that's where I was thinking, okay, like either White or Album is going to end up switching over into ice. And sure enough, it was Album.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so so as far as for White Album, White Album, like as we said, it controls ice. Now, if you remember back in Stardust Crusaders, we had an ice ability, like an ice enemy stand user. This was Pet Shop, but Pet Shop was just more or less, he was just like freezing the air around him to turn into like giant fuck you icicles, and he was launching them at Iggy. White Album's a little different. White Album is literally like, yes, he freezes the air around him and everything, but White Album is a little bit more focused on, like you see, he's freezing over the car, he's fucking it up, he's practically freezing, he's frozen Giorno's foot to the pedal, he's frozen Mista's face onto the window. It got so cold to the point that when Mista had tried wiping the window previously, his finger froze to the window, and it was so cold he didn't even feel that it just completely ripped off of his own hand. So it's like, we're talking extreme hypothermia here. So that's where it's like, this guy is fucking dangerous. I mean, it's like, this guy will kill you and you won't even like feel pain or anything. So it's like, this is a very, very dangerous stand. And then, of course, the episode ends on a goddamn cliffhanger, if anything, because, as you will see in the next episode, you see Mista and Giorno, the car flies off the bridge and into the water. And that's the last place you want to go when you're dealing with ice, is more water.
Oh, yeah, really. And it's like now that you bring up like the ending of of this episode or whatever, when we get that still shot before it cuts to the to be continued sign or whatever, it's like, I don't know about you, but when I see that image as like the cliffhanger, that alone is like, okay, Giorno and Mista, especially Mista, they're in grave danger. That's why it's like, here I am slightly hoping that it's like, that would be a great place to quickly splice in the rest of Mista's backstory or whatever, I mean, it could be just me, but I don't know.
Yeah. But either way, so it's like, so now mind you, there is still more to White Album. You will be seeing that in the next episode, easily. So, but suffice it to say, Pet Shop 2.0, far more dangerous than Pet Shop. And, if you listen to anybody who's, like, read the manga and, like, when people talk about, like, their favorite fights from Part 5, the White Album fight, usually in the top 3 for a lot of people. It's a really good fight, just because it's, like, holy shit. I mean, it's like, again, I don't want to spoil too much or anything, but, like, Gacho, it's probably, like, the one stand fight, like, I think maybe, like, him and, like, Prosciutto, these are, like, probably, like, the La Squadra fights where, I mean, it's, like, these guys have, like, the upper hand, probably for, like, the majority of the fight. You really have no idea where this is going, but, it's easily a fight, like, you are hanging on the edge of your seat watching this fight, and yeah, Gacho's fight, without a doubt, is like this. So that's where it's like, if you really like the beginning of the fight in this episode, man, you're gonna love next week.
Oh, yes.
Oh, the rest of this fight is so good.
Oh, it absolutely is, yes.
Okay, and then I guess, a brief little thing. I know we really didn't talk about it, like, when you and I were first watching this episode, but it was like, we got that brief little, like, palette swap, and it was like, I guess this is as close as we're getting to Giorno and Blue as we're gonna get.
Oh my god, god damn it, I didn't even pay attention to that, god damn it. It's funny, I noticed a little slight color palette change, with Mista, when we see his face, like, pretty much frozen, like, onto, like, the window or whatever, but it's like, I was paying little to no attention to what color palette was changed, with Giorno.
Well, to be fair, it's like, with Mista, you got a clear shot, because really only Mista's, like, face you saw was, like, covered in ice, but Giorno was freezing over, so, easily, like, over half of his body was encased in ice. So it's like, I wouldn't blame you if you didn't catch that, just because, I mean, you're dealing with, half his body is in ice, so you're not really going to see it. But there are some scenes where, yes, you do see it. I'm sure they got the color palette swap from one of the manga chapters, because that's usually what they refer to. Because it's like because you see like Giorno's hair is blue and shit, so it's like I could have sworn that is indeed a color swap from one of like the manga chapters, but I gotta hunt that down, and if there is, I will post it up like right here. But even so, it's like I guess this is the closest that we're gonna get to seeing OG Giorno.
I was like, oh god damn it. No, I was like, no, I don't care what anyone says. I am still waiting for that moment where it's like he officially reverts himself to the original blue colors that we've seen Giorno before.
Yeah, and that's where it's like don't change the hair or anything. Don't change the hair color. Don't change the accessories. Just change the color of the suit.
That's
just
all
give us,
you need.
Just give us Giorno Classic, please.
Yes, as they described it, just give us Giorno OG Giorno.
Yeah. It's like, I'm still holding out hope that we will see that at for the final battle. But this is the closest that we're getting right now, so it's like okay.
Right.
Alrighty then. So then I guess oh shit. Oh god, I just remembered.
What?
Ryan, do you remember what happens after the Gacho fight? Like how the fight actually ends?
Oh, goddamn. Well, it's been oh god. No, I can't say that I do, if only because it has been God knows how long since we did that manga reading or whatever.
With Giorno and Mista.
Oh my god, I can't believe I don't remember this. God damn it.
Okay, I'll bring it up after we're done recording, because I dare not spoil it here for you anime only watchers. Just, oh man, you guys are in for a treat next week.
It's like I could have sworn it was something very wacky. Like we're talking, fucking Mariah Joseph Abdul kind of wacky. I don't know why. But you're not
far off. You're not too far off.
Okay, I'm onto something, but it's like, god damn it, it's just not clicking. It's like, damn it.
Like, I'm just gonna say, like, if anything, I think this is what cements the Giorno and Mista shipping.
Oh god damn it.
But I think that's what really cemented that as like a big ship in this part. But I will just leave it at that. And But yeah, suffice it to say, so yeah, I guess as far as next week goes, it's easily going to be the remainder of the White Album fight. Like, I do think that will be the entirety, like, like this, the episode ends where the credits roll, it's the end of the fight. Like we're not going to be moving forward into like the next major event afterwards. Because bear in mind, after White Album, we are about halfway through. We're close to hitting the halfway point of part 5. It'll probably be like another I want to say maybe 3 episodes or something before we can say, okay, we are officially halfway through. So I mean, we're close. I mean, it is coming up quick.
Oh, but oh man, still makes me wonder. It's like if no, you know what? No, I never mind. I take that back. Here I am thinking, oh, are they gonna do a Stardust Crusaders thing where they're gonna separate this into seasons? But I'm thinking, no. Oh no, that's not gonna happen. No.
It's been confirmed. I think it's going to be about the same length as Diamond is Unbreakable. So we're looking like 38, 39 episodes.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, it's just going to be one continuous season. Don't get me wrong, I would love for it to be 2 seasons, because I mean, hey, more of part 5 the better, but, that's just me.
Right.
Alrighty, but I'm trying to think, is there anything else that either you want to bring up or anything you're predicting for next week?
Well, for starters, it's like, oh man, I can't stress this enough. It's like, okay, it could very well be because it's like, I freaking love Mista so much, but it's like, oh my god. Alright, look, it's like, I'm just dying to see the second half of Mrs. backstory. And I'm just, it's like going back to what you're trying to say earlier. It's like, all right, if we don't get it next week, all right, that's fine. I'll just hope and pray they'll do it like 2 weeks from now. But it's like, David Productions, you cannot leave that out. This is vital information. I am just saying. And, oh, wait. So, Danny, how about those rants from Ghiaccio? What do you think about those?
Oh god, yes! The Venice rant!
Oh god. Wait.
でもベネツィアはみんなベニスって英語で呼ぶんだよ。ベニスの商人とかベニスにシストがやだ。なんでベネツィアにシスってタイトルじゃねえんだよ。
I love the distortion with the eyes.
イタリア語で呼べイタリア語で。
So remind me, the person who's voicing this guy. This is the same guy who voiced Bakugo.
Yeah, this is Bakugo.
I hear nothing but Bakugo. and it is glorious.
Oh my god, how did we forget to talk about this? Oh my god.
Oh my god. It's like, okay, I'm fairly certain Danny brought this up like at a previous Golden Week Geek Out, but if she did not, or it could be because my memory is like eluding me right now, but it's like, no, when you hear Ghiaccio, you're hearing the Japanese voice actor for Bakugo in My Hero Academia. And let me tell you something, when you hear Ghiaccio go on about his rant about fucking Valencia or Venice or whatever, you hear nothing but Bakugo, and oh my god, it is hilarious and amazing to watch. Not just because of the voice performance, but his over-exaggerated facial expressions that David Productions put in. Oh my god, they did so good with that. It's amazing.
It is.
I love it.
It is, because like, I guess, yeah, that is Ghiaccio's trait. Like, that's his like big personality trait, his quirk, what have you. The guy, he just goes off on rants over the slightest little things, and then he throws like temper tantrums and shit. Like, think like Fugo, kind of. But whereas like, Fugo, the slightest little thing does make him upset and everything, but he doesn't exaggerate to the point that Ghiaccio does. Like, yeah, like Ryan, like how you bring up like his facial expressions. Like, you see like his face is literally distorting while he's like going off on this fucking rant about how the world pronounces Venezia as Venice. It's like, yeah, Fugo doesn't go to that extreme, but Ghiaccio does. So it's like, oh my god.
Good. It's
like David Production is capturing that very well. The voice actor is doing it very well, and like, yes, it is the same guy that voices Bakugo from My Hero Academia. It's a shame that Ghiaccio does not face off against Narancia, because it's like that would be a match made in heaven.
That's right.
It's a real damn shame.
It really is. God damn it. But no, it's still ironic in its own way that they pulled two Japanese voice actors from My Hero Academia into Part 5. Like, regardless if a Ghiaccio or Narancia don't fight at any point on his entire part. It's like, it's still ironic in its own way.
Yes. And then it's like, and then I'm sure, and I know we heard this and everything. I mean, okay, we didn't get a subtitle for it, but I fucking heard it. We heard a re.
Oh, that, yes, we got a fucking re. It's like
Giorno went fucking re.
First, the freaking Buddha battle cry with Black Sabbath, and now months later, we got a re from the guy.
Don't get me wrong,
like,
we get a
motherfucker. I am torn. I am lit. I am so wanting to hear. Oh, okay. I can't say too much because that will more than likely be spoilers for near endgame. But ooh, there is one part that I am just dying to hear just from getting this Ri alone.
Oh, believe me, everyone who's read the manga, we know exactly what you're referring to, Ryan.
He did the Buddha, he did the Ri. I want to hear both, God damn it.
It's like, yeah, we got a long ways to go before we get to that fight.
Frick.
But still, it was like, but yeah, it was like, that's where that was another thing, like, because I know, yes, he did go Ri in that fight, but that's where I was like, I could have sworn that he had said Ri at an earlier point, but I couldn't remember which one it was. And it was like, yeah, I think it was during, like, the bit with Malone, where it's like, yeah, like, Gold Experience goes to throw a punch, and it's like, you literally hear him go, Ri! It's like, oh my god, he went fucking Ri!
Yeah, it's like granted, it's not like the way Giorno did it. It wasn't like entirely like how like it sounded from Dio back in part 3, but you could still feel that nostalgia hit when he made that battle cry.
Yeah, like you could still tell that it was a Ri that went on. And it's like, again, it was kind of weird because I remembered even in like Stardust Crusaders when I was watching this subtitled and everything, for the first time, I remembered that when Dio went Ri, they actually threw the Ri in a subtitle.
They did. Yes.
They did. They subtitled the Ri for Dio, but they didn't for Giorno. So that's where it's like, I'm sure, like, for some people when they just heard that, they're just like, okay, this is just some random scream or something. But no, that was a Ri. That was such a Ri. Okay, so now is there anything that we've missed?
Okay, now I think we covered everything we wanted to cover.
Alrighty then. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week, and we will see you next week as we watch the remainder of the White Album fight.
Alright, see you guys then. Arrivederci.